Hi everyone, and welcome to another 41 Treehouse Club mini quiz. We are not quite under the stairs today, we're just out, but you can still see them, so it counts. Thank you for joining us. Today it's our Tudors mini quiz, so 10 questions all about the Tudors. So that's enough of me, let's get started. Right, so question 1. The Tudor age began at the end of which war? The which war ended before the Tudor age could begin. So the Tudor age began at the end of which war? And I'm not giving you a clue, but come on, Yorkshire. Question 2. The first Tudor king was Henry VII, but who did he marry? So the first Tudor king was this chap here, Henry VII, but who did he marry? He's got a lockdown haircut. Question 3. Which minister to King Henry VIII is seen as the strongest and most powerful proponent of the English Reformation? Yeah, easy for me to say. Basically, so which minister to King Henry VIII is seen as the strongest and more powerful proponent of the English Reformation? So who is the linchpin behind it all, basically? Who was the puppet pulling the strings? What did they get him? Do you know, Harry? He was executed in the end, like so many of the people in King Henry's life. So, question 4. In 2007, a TV drama depicting the Tudor dynasty premiered. This actor portrayed Henry VIII, but what is his name? So, who is this guy in the picture, basically? So, 2007, a TV drama depicting the Tudor dynasty premiered. This actor portrayed Henry VIII, but what is his name? Obviously, the budget didn't stretch to a fat suit, because that's quite a dapper-looking Henry VIII there. So, question 5. On the death of Edward VI, who became Queen of England and Ireland? So, on the death of Edward VI, who became Queen of England and Ireland? Question 6. In 2018, yes, it's the Tudors Quiz, but we're going to 2018, a musical depicting a modern retelling of the lives of Henry VIII's wives opened at the Arts Theatre in the West End. What is it called? So a musical depicting a modern retelling of the lives of all the wives of Henry VIII, but what is the musical called? And more importantly, will we ever get to see it? The tour has been cancelled a few times because of the L word that we're not going to mention. L, C word, C word. I think you had tickets, didn't you? I didn't mention at the start, but we're joined again by Harry in the ear. Say hello, Harry. He says hello, Harry. Right, question 7. Mary I was called Mary Tudor by her Catholic allies, but what did her Protestant opponents call her? So Mary I was called Mary Tudor by her Catholic allies, but what did her Protestant opponents call her? She does not look like a happy lady. It looks like a case for something in her hand, but I'm not going to say what it looks like. Maybe. Harry reckons it's the vase. Question 8. Put these key events of Elizabeth I's reign in order that they occurred. So, the Spanish Armada, Newfoundland is claimed as an English territory, Mary Queen of Scots is executed, and the Act of Supremacy, which is the re-establishing of the Church of England. So put them in order. They all happened during the reign of Elizabeth I. So Spanish Armada, Newfoundland is claimed, Mary Queen of Scots is executed, and the Act of Supremacy, which is the re-establishing of the Church of England. Yeah. And if Jeremy Clarkson's listening, you can have this for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You can have that question. Yeah, so she was a busy queen, despite not getting married and having kids. She discovered America, a lot of the Pacific. Right. Question 9. When Elizabeth I sent Sir Francis Drake to explore and claim areas around the Pacific Ocean, he discovered New Albion, but how is it known today? So when Elizabeth I sent Sir Francis Drake, this chappie here, to explore and claim areas around the Pacific Ocean, he discovered New Albion. How is it known today? Yeah. He's got the Michael Jackson look though, with one white glove on. Just needs some more ruffles. Right, final question. Final question. The Tudor era ended in 1603 when James I took the throne, beginning the Stuart dynasty and the United Kingdoms of Britain. But what was his title in Scotland? So the Tudor ended in 1603 when the King of Scotland, James I, took the throne, which started the Stuart era. But what was his title in Scotland? So how was James I known in Scotland? Now that's Ruffles. Right, don't forget, if you need more time, you can press pause. If not, let's crack on with the answers. Right, so let's get you some answers. So the Tudor age began at the end of which war? It was, of course, the War of the Roses. So the House of York, the White Rose, and the House of Lancashire, the Red Rose. And I suppose they both won because, well, we'll find out in a minute. So question 2, the first Tudor king was Henry VII, but who did he marry? He married Elizabeth of York. So Elizabeth of York was House of York, and Henry VII was House of Lancashire. So there we go, that's what ended the war. So question 3, which minister to King Henry VIII is seen as the strongest and more powerful proponent of the English Reformation? It was Thomas Cromwell. In 2007, a TV drama depicting the Tudor dynasty premiered. This actor portrayed Henry VIII. It is Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. Question 5. On the death of Edward VI, who became Queen of England and Ireland? It was Lady Jane Grey, the 9-day Queen. So she usurped the throne for 9 days before Mary I was rightfully put in place. So she's known as the nine-day Queen. Harry's asking if that's where Lady Grey tea comes from. I actually don't know. It could be. Okay. So question 6. In 2018, a musical depicting the lives of Henry VIII's wives opened. What is it called? It's called Six. So Henry VIII had 6 wives, so the musical is called Six. Question 7. Mary I was called Mary Tudor by her Catholic allies, but what name did her Protestant opponents call her? She was Bloody Mary. So put these key events of Elizabeth I's reign in order that they occurred. So in 1558 was the Act of Supremacy, re-establishing the Church of England. So that was the year she took the throne. In 1583, Newfoundland is claimed. In 1587, Mary Queen of Scots is executed 33 years after she was first captured and put in prison. And in 1588, it was the Spanish Armada, which was a consequence of Mary Queen of Scots being killed. So that's how it happened. So, question 9. When Elizabeth I sent Sir Francis Drake to explore and claim areas around the Pacific Ocean, he discovered New Albion. And New Albion these days is called California. And final question. The Tudor era ended in 1603 when James I took the throne, beginning the Stuart dynasty. What was his title in Scotland? Well, James I of England was James VI of Scotland. And that's when Scotland first joined England and to become the United Kingdoms of Britain. So James VI is the answer. So that's the end of the Tudors quiz. If you liked it, please let us know in the comments. If you want more history mini quizzes, let us know. Or if you've got any other ideas of a quiz you might like, just drop us in the comments. We read them all, and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you very much.